Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1981 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Detroit Tigers at Tigers Stadium. On the mound for the Blue Jays is Jim Clancy, whose record is 1-4 with a 3.49 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers is Dave Rozema, whose record is 2-0 with a 4.66 ERA. And so yesterday we won. We hung in there. We had a decent lead, and then we just kind of pissed it away. And it really came down to the last batter for the Blue Jays, possibly tying it up. And we were able to shut him down, and Capizzello got his third save on the season. And we walked away happy with the victory. But it was a close call. We're 4-1 in May, so we're off to a good start, but we are just playing the crappy Blue Jays so far. So hopefully we can close out this homestand with another win against Toronto, and then we're heading to Boston, who is a tough team. They are tied for first place right now, so we'll see how we fare against them. But one game at a time. So we're playing... we got to worry about the Blue Jays today. As always, I appreciate everyone following along. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. We have a lot of good stuff to talk about Dave Rozema. He has actually had a really storied career on and off the field. A lot of fun things to talk about for Dave Rozema. None of the things I have pertain to his baseball stats. So hopefully you'll enjoy some of the things I dug up about Dave Rozema. Anyway, our bullpen is fully available today, and our lineup against Jim Clancy, who's a righty, is a lineup we have against righties, which is primarily left-handed batters. We have Lance Parrish back in there. He had 2 games off in a row as Castillo filled in at catcher. And Wayne Gross is back at third, although it seems like Tom Brookins is the superior hitter to Wayne Gross. Gross has actually been the better defensive player. Hard to believe. It really should be the other way around, but it's not. But we'll give Wayne Gross another shot today, as we'll go ahead and take a look at the Blue Jays lineup rundown. There's a couple players in there we haven't seen yet. Also, the Blue Jays made a change at closer, and we'll talk about that if it comes up in today's game. So batting leadoff and playing third base today is Pat Rocket. Batting second and in right field is Lynn Jones. Batting third at DH is Tim Corcoran. Batting cleanup at first base is Willie Upshaw. Batting fifth at third base is Roy Howell. Batting sixth and doing the catching for the Blue Jays is Ernie Witt. Batting seventh in left field is Al Woods. Batting eighth at shortstop is Steve Davis. And batting ninth at second base is Garth Orge. And on the mound for the Tigers is Dave Rozema. He's 2-0 on the year with a 4.66 ERA. He's had a couple good starts in a row. He had that complete game that came out of nowhere. He only threw 103 pitches to get that complete game, but he was definitely tired. His endurance is, really takes him to about 80 to 85 pitches. But his overall rating is up to 90, so he should start pitching better, I would think. It was a kind of a surprise. He doesn't walk very many, so that allows him to keep his pitch total down. So a lot of good stuff to tell you about Dave Rozema. I'm not going to really give you the baseball stuff. I'm going to give you some of the behind-the-scenes things with Dave Rozema. In 1980, he missed a plane that was an exhibition trip to Puerto Rico because he'd stayed up late the night before and judged a wet T-shirt competition. And he did get in trouble by Sparky Anderson, who told him that he really needed to stop his extracurricular activities. In 1982, he most famously blew out his knee trying to karate kick John Castino of the Minnesota Twins. Earlier in the game, it had turned into a beanball war, and then Rosema drilled Castino, and Castino rushed the mound, and he tried to give him a old Karate Kid type maneuver, and ended up tearing his knee and missed the rest of the season. As you can see right here, he only pitched 16 games in 1979. So, I'm sorry, that was 1982. My bad. This was an arm injury. Anyway, they actually made a bobblehead of that Karate Kick, which you can find on eBay. And then in 1985, Kirk Gibson and Dave Rozema married each other's sisters. They had a dual wedding, and then they went on honeymoon together. So, Dave Rozema is married to Kirk Gibson's sister, and Kirk Gibson is married to Dave Rozema's sister. Kirk Gibson, he one time pushed Rosema off a bar stool, and Rosema had a bottle of cough syrup in his back pocket for whatever reason, and when he fell, he landed on it, and he had 11 stitches in his hip. And then coincidentally, in another incident, Rosema shoved Alan. A lot of shoving in bars by baseball players, I guess. Dave Rozema shoved Alan Trammell, and when Trammell went to duck the shove, Rosema smashed him in the face with his beer mug and gave Trammell 40 stitches in his face. So just some interesting stories about Dave Rozema. Of course, he was a really solid pitcher for Detroit for pretty much his whole career. He did have a season with the Rangers to close out his career. But 10 years in the majors, pretty solid. So here is the defensive lineup for Detroit. We already kind of gave you the rundown for the defense. And Pat Rocket, who we have not seen this year, he's a shortstop. He's playing center field. I'm curious what his rating will be in center field. As he flies out to left, Kemp making the catch. One down. Here is Lynn Jones, 0 for 4 against Rosema this year. And Rosema walks Jones. So runner on first base for Tim Corcoran, who got hot in yesterday's game. He had 3 hits. And Lynn Jones steals second base. So runner on second, a 1-0 count to Tim Corcoran. Corcoran hits a line drive right at Gross, and that's the second out. He's going to leave it up to Willie Upshaw to drive in Jones. And he hits a blooper into center field. It falls in, and Jones scores. So the Blue Jays have an early 1-0 lead, with Upshaw having that RBI single. And another blooper into center field. This time it's going to be caught as Roy Howell flies out to center. And now we go to the bottom of the first. Here's the Detroit Tigers lineup rundown. Batting leadoff in center field is Ricky Henderson. Batting second at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting third and DHing is Kirk Gibson. Batting cleanup in left field is Steve Kemp. Batting fifth at first base is Jason Thompson. Batting sixth and catching today is Lance Parrish. Batting seventh and in right field is Gary Hancock. Batting eighth at third base is Wayne Gross. And batting ninth at second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Here's Jim Clancy. We just saw him last week. And he took the loss. He went 6 innings in that game, giving up 7 hits, 4 runs on 7 hits. Gave up 2 home runs. He did have 7 strikeouts. So kind of a mixed performance there, but he's got a low ERA. 3.49 overall with those 35 Ks and 49 innings pitched. Opponents are batting .238. So not too shabby defensively. Take a look here as you see Pat Rocket, who's a shortstop, playing center field today with that 63 defensive rating since he's playing out of position. So maybe we can take advantage of that, hitting it into the deep left and right center field gap. As Henderson leads off by grounding out to second. So one down. Here is Trammell, 3 for 11 against Clancy this year. He hits a ground ball just past Clancy. And the shortstop, Steve Davis, throws him out for the second out. And Gibby hits a ground ball to short, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Clancy. We go to the top of the second, 1-0 Toronto. Ernie Witt will lead off the top of the second. He flies out to Henderson, 1 down. Next up is Al Woods. Woods hits a ground ball to Trammell. Trammell throws him out at first. That is the second out. With 2 down, here is Steve Davis. And Davis grounds out to short. Go to the bottom half of the second. Steve Kemp leading off. He's got a home run against Clancy. And he strikes out to lead off the first. 1 down. Here's JT. Thompson hitting a fly ball to center. And Rocket makes the play. So with 2 down, Lance Parrish comes in and he pops it up to second. Orth makes the catch. So that's 6 retired batters in a row. We go to the top of the third. Garth Orge, batting 9th today, grounds out to Whitaker. There's 1 down. Back to the top of the lineup with Rocket. Rocket is batting .364 against righties. And he pops it up to Whitaker on the outfield grass. And there's the second out. Let's go leave it up to Jones. Jones walked his first time up, and he hits a line drive right at Hancock in right field, and that'll do it. Head to the bottom of the third. Hancock leads off the inning. Hancock in a huge slump, only batting .208 versus righties. And he grounds out to Orge at second. 7 in a row now for Clancy. Wayne Gross, with 1 down, flies out to Rocket in center field. With 2 down, here's Sweet Lou. And Whitaker walks, so at least we get a base runner. We're going to let Ricky swing away here. There's a base hit to right. That'll break up the no-hitter. Whitaker takes third, and it's first and third for Trammell. Trammell leading the team with a .326 batting average. And he hits it right back to Clancy, who throws Trammell out at first, and that'll do it. So we leave 2 stranded, head to the top of the fourth. Toronto's still up by 1. Here's the red-hot Tim Corcoran, base hit to center field. Only the second hit by the Blue Jays. Corcoran up to 179 now. Upshaw with 1 down, strikes out. I'm sorry, that is the first out. Corcoran had the single. So Upshaw strikes out for the first out. First K by Rosema. Roy Howell hits a ground ball to second. Will it be 2? It is a double play. And that'll do it for Detroit. I'm sorry, for the Blue Jays. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Kirk Gibson leading off the inning. And Gibby hits a ground ball to second. That's the first out. Looks like all the Tigers that were hot, their averages are coming down. We still have 3 batters batting over 300. With 1 out, Kemp hits a line drive right at the third baseman, Howell. There's the second out. He's going to leave it up to Thompson. There's a base hit down the right field line. Falls in and gets to the wall, and Thompson has himself a double, getting his batting average up to 200. Thompson, even though he's only batting 200, he does lead the team in player of the game. He has 5 of them this season. Clancy walks Parrish. And second in player of the game awards is Ricky Henderson, who we've only had for a few weeks. So he's had an impact so far. As Hancock finally gets a base hit, he drives in Thompson from second. So an RBI single for Gary Hancock. The game is tied at 1. Let's get a little 2-out rally going here with Wayne Gross. Oh, nope. Gross puts an end to that pretty quickly by striking out. Go to the top of the 5th. It's all tied at 1. Ernie Witt leading off. And he hits a pop-up on the first base side foul ground. Thompson makes the play. 1 down for Al Woods. Woods shoots it to left center field, and it's going to be run down by Kemp for the second out. So 2 down for Steve Davis, and Davis strikes out. So Rosema giving up that run in the first, and that's really been about it. Bottom half of the 5th, Sweet Lou leads off the inning by hitting it right back to Clancy. And Clancy throws him out at first. There's 1 out. Back to the top of the lineup with Ricky. Ricky, there we go. That's into the left center field gap. Oh, see, only a double. And as I mentioned in another game, Henderson only had 66 career triples. So, I don't know, maybe he just didn't have that kind of speed, but he's out second base with only 1 out. And Trammell hits a fly ball into center. Henderson should be able to tag up. We have a shortstop in center field. There we go. Ricky tags up on that player playing out of position in center. So Henderson on third with 2 outs. We need a big hit here from Gibby. Gibby hits it in left center field, and that should be caught. It is. So we go to the top of the 6th. We're going to flip it over to the in-game stats. Henderson is 2 for 3 on the day, but Hancock has the base hit and the RBI. So, and Rosema pitching a strong game, so it could be any of those 3 for player of the game so far. Oh, there we go. Rosema giving up a hit to the number 9 hitter, Garth Orge. That's his first hit. Only the 3rd overall for the Blue Jays. And then Pat Rocket's going to get an infield hit to short. And now it's first and second, nobody out. So what are we going to do here? We're going to, I guess we're going to play straight away for Lynn Jones. And Jones hits a fly ball to the right. Caught by Hancock, I should say. And not deep enough for Orge to tag. We're going to pull the outfield in now. We don't want anything to drop in. And it's going to drop in anyway. That doesn't make any sense. But Corcoran gets that base hit RBI. And the Blue Jays take the lead, 2-1. Rosema now is officially tired. And I guess you could argue that maybe I should have taken Rosema out with these lefties coming up. But no one's ever going to accuse me of doing the right thing. So we're going to let him pitch to Willie Upshaw. Oh, no! As Upshaw has his 3rd home run of the season, all 3 against the Tigers in this 6-game home-and-home series. And that's going to do it. Wow, I had to learn that one the hard way. So we're going to bring in Keith Comstock, who pitched, I guess he pitched a little over an inning yesterday, right? What did he pitch? Take a quick look. No, I guess he pitched 2/3. Oh, it was a previous outing on the third where he went 2 against the Blue Jays. So we're going to let him pitch here to Roy Howell. 1 batter too late. Oh, come on. Roy Howell gets a hit. That's the 3rd hit in a row and the 5th hit this inning for the Blue Jays, as they are moguling us right now. Ground ball to 3rd by Witt. And Gross boots it. We can't have a third baseman get through a game without having an iron glove at 3rd. So only 1 out. And there's a blooper in the left center field. That's going to fall in for a hit. And another run scores. And it is 6-1. And Comstock was shitty. We're going to bring in Bob Stanley. We haven't seen him in a while. Give Stanley a chance here to throw a ground ball with Steve Davis batting now. And he strikes out looking. We'll take a K from Stanley. I just gave him a contract extension. And he's going to reward me by getting a strikeout and then letting another single fall in as Witt scores from second. And it's 7-1, Toronto. Back to the top of the lineup with Pat Rocket. Rocket grounds out to second. And the Blue Jays just poured it on. Tigers totally got moguled with the error and the bloop base hits. And the home run against a pitcher who I should have taken out. And it doesn't make any sense because defensively they suck. I mean, center field should be wide open. But Clancy's pitching pretty good as Kemp flies out to center. Thompson grounds out to second. And really, we are kind of struggling as a team. We had only 5 hits in yesterday's game. As we go down 1-2-3. We're going to leave Stanley in there to face Lynn Jones. And Stanley strikes out Jones to start off the 7th. 2 Ks by Stanley, and now we have the lefties coming up. So, I guess I learned my lesson the hard way. We're going to bring in Pat Underwood. We've seen a lot of him this year. His 15th game already. 15 innings pitched, 10 Ks. Opponent's only batting 167. Lefties are batting 138. I'm sure I just jinxed them. As all of a sudden, Tim Corcoran cannot get himself out. Oh, he strikes out there. We'll take it. As Corcoran's 2 for 4 on the day. Here's Willie Upshaw, had that big run, 3-run Jimmy Jack. He flies out to center, and that's going to end the inning. They're going to bring in a defensive replacement. They're going to bring in Rick Bassetti to play center. And my question is, Bassetti is their everyday center fielder. So why start Pat Rocket in that position? Why not just put Rick Bassetti in there? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe at least move Rocket to short. I mean, that would make sense that you wanted him in there for his bat. I don't get it. But anyway, Hancock lines out to short. Wayne Gross lines out to center field as Bassetti makes that catch. It's going to leave it up to Lou Whitaker. 0 for 1 with a walk today. Clancy now officially tired as Whitaker pops out, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. We're going to the top of the 8th. 7-1. Roy Howell will lead off the inning. He hits a ground ball to Trammell. Trammell throws him out. 1 down. Here is Ernie Witt. Ernie Witt hits a ground ball to Wade Gross at 3rd. He makes the play. That's 2 down. And then Al Woods strikes out. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Top of the lineup, Here's Ricky Henderson leading off. And he flips it to right. And that's the first out of the inning. Tigers cannot get anything going today. Trammell strikes out. Only the third K for Clancy. And Gibby's going to hit a long fly ball to center field, short of the warning track there in the cavern of center field, and that's another 1-2-3 inning. We go to the ninth, and we're going to bring in a righty. Good job by Underwood. We're going to bring in Tobic, who has yet to get his ERA under 10. He's going to face Steve Davis, and he walks him, and it wasn't. Look at this. Pitch 1, 5, and 6 was so far outside that even Angel Hernandez would be able to call that a ball. Okay, so Davis is on first base. Here's the number 9 hitter, Garth Orge. Orge hits a ground ball to Whitaker, and Whitaker makes an error. Second error by today, Tigers infield today, and it's first and second. Nobody out, and you know this is about to get swifty. Bassetti hits a ground ball to second. They can't turn two, as Whitaker's only play was to first. So Orge on second, Davis on third. Lynn Jones is up. Jones is going to pop it up on the infield, and nobody wants it. Oh, what do you know? Gross makes the play. There's 2 down. And here we go with the lefties again. I mean, honestly, there's no point in bringing in. We're down 6. If Tobic can't get, Corcoran out, not even betting 200. He strikes him out. And no damage done. We go to the ninth. We're down 6, and we have our lefties up. And Clancy's had 116 pitches, and he's tired, so that we could get a rally. It's never too late. There's an infield single for Kemp. So runner on first. Only the 5th hit for Detroit. We're going to hit and run. Thompson hits a ground ball to second. That'll move Kemp up. Not a runner at second base doesn't mean a thing right now. Here's Parrish batting 182 versus righties. He comes through with a base hit to right. Kemp only goes to third. I guess he doesn't want to get thrown out at home. Clancy walks Gary Hancock, and bases are loaded for Wayne Gross. That's going to be it for Clancy. They're going to bring in Greg Thayer. Now, Thayer was the closer. They moved him to the long relief role, and he was pitching lights out. I don't understand that. I guess he was walking more, but they're only batting 109 against him. And they pulled up from AAA Larry Anderson, not any of the Larry Andersons you know. This is Larry Anderson who played for Milwaukee. He was actually on Detroit. We traded him to Toronto for Barry Bunnell. He's their closer. So 1 out, and Greg Gross is a piece of garbage as he hits a ground ball to second. And we lose 7-1. That's a terrible way to lose the third game of that series. And the Mets keep wanting to offer us John Stearns. And I'm inclined to start considering this offer. And it's like the 4th time because Parrish sucks offensively and defensively. But I mean, I don't care about these pitchers, but we just can't take on that salary. We're going to be almost $2 million in the hole. And I don't know if we're only playing 110 games, which we are. Does the game calculation recognize that? So I don't know the answer to that question. But that doesn't make any sense to make that trade as, we are still in the running. even with that loss, we're 2.5 games out as we go to Fenway to face Boston, who is, they've played, 6 games less than Baltimore? But they're tied for first. Better winning percentage anyway. Let's take a look at the transactions. And we have ourselves a trade. Another trade. It's that time of the year where, Minnesota, all they do is trade, as they gave away their MVP to Houston on the 5th, and now they're trading away Paul Hartzell to the Baltimore Orioles, and they're getting Steve Stone back. Stoney was in AAA, as you can see right here. He made 6 starts as Baltimore is deep in starting pitchers. And it was just 1980 in real life when Steve Stone won the Cy Young. So maybe that'll help out that team. They're also giving up their starting left fielder, Gary Renicky. Now, you know what? I guess he's not. I guess he's maybe a platoon. I don't know. But he's got a few at-bats. So he wasn't playing anyway. So he'll get some PT in Minnesota. Woody Fryman, former Detroit Tiger, retires, age 41. He was traded to Montreal for Rusty Staub. That's how we got Rusty, the Tigers. And so anyway, we liked having Woody Fryman in our team in the 70s. But he's done. He's going to get himself a rocking chair. And that's going to be it for the transactions. Let's pull up the box score, and we will get the hell out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. We'll be back tomorrow with the game against Boston in Beantown. As what is going on here? It's taking its sweet-ass time loading up the box score. There it is. Rosema, he deserved a better fate. I threw him to the wolves with those lefties, and Upshaw hitting his 3rd home run against Detroit. Took him deep. And Rosema takes the loss. He's 2-1. Clancy gets the win. Pitched really well. Almost a complete game. As he goes to 2-4, and nothing good on Detroit, man. I guess we got to give it to Gary Hancock with the RBI. I mean, it's not saying much, but we'll give it to Gary. And that's going to do it. We're going to wrap it up here, and we'll be back tomorrow. Until then, everyone, have a great night.